Excuse me. Okay, everybody. Welcome back. I'm gonna try to show you guys a little bit more of the sculpture, how far along I am, and let me just take a look, make sure it's working real quick. Make sure it's running the way I want it. It looks like it is, so that's good. So if you're watching live right now and you have a question, I just want you to know that I may not be able to answer right away, but I'll answer later if that's okay. Alrighty, so I was just gonna go ahead today and show you where I am right now as far as working on the torso and his face. I'm going to try to bring it closer to the camera, see if you guys can see what it's looking like right now. I'm trying to do like a nice design as far as the hair and the face itself. I found a few pictures online of his face, and it's really hard to do something 2D into 3D. You know, it's very tricky, but I'll do my best. And then, of course, it's not going to be exactly what we see there will be what you see here. But I do want something to, at least when you look at it, you feel like, okay, that's Lionel from the Thundercats, you know? Anyways, this is how far along I am. I add a little bit more hair here, like I said on the last video. I'm trying to get the profile nice and clear, and I'm gonna start cleaning this right now, show you guys how I get to like being this clean. Although this is not very clean, I don't know if the resolution is that great, but I'll show you how I clean it up. This is wax. It's a hard material, so you need these dental tools. It's actually a spatula that heats, and then you can go ahead and it melts the wax, and you can kind of shape it the way you want. So I'll be using a few of these around here so you can see how it smooth things out. Excuse me. What else was I gonna show you guys? So here's his legs. Also needs a lot of work, and it will go like this later. I'm trying to do the, like I said, I sectioned the statue because I need this to fit in my pressure pot when it's time to cast. So if I have this whole piece together, then it won't fit in my pressure pot. So when I'm casting, it'll be tricky. So for that, I'm going to do one mode for each part. That way I have more control when it comes to casting. And just like I was mentioning, the arms, I will cast a copy in resin once this is all finished. That way, once it's all finished, I can go ahead and make it fit nicely with the other wax parts. So as I said, once this is all done, I add clay here, warm it up, and I squeeze it like this, just squish it in there, and then I can make it fit nicely and clear and clean. After doing the arms, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same with the legs. I'm gonna add more material here, warm it up so it's soft, and then I just make it a exact fit, right? And then to avoid the wax from gluing on the resin in the future, normally you use a little petroleum Vaseline here, and that will avoid from getting stuck and like sticking, because this is a very sticky material if you warm it up. It is sticky, but it also comes off easily. So, but when you're talking about fitting parts, you may want to do it that way. Anyways, so this is what I'm trying to do. This was outside in the garage, and it was very, very cold in there because it's winter right now, right? Anyways, so it's kind of cracking. So I'm kind of freaking out a little because Of course, in the cold, the wax will shrink, and then as you bring it back to warm, it will just expand again. But this is what I'm using for the pegs. It may be too big. I may just, I normally, what I do, I just heat up with this, the metal here, and then it will melt the clay, the wax inside, and I can push it in or push it out, however long I want. And I did this peg right here because here's one of the legs. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. So see, it'll fit right there like this later. I don't know if you can see in the picture. I'm trying to, so it'll fit right there like this, boom. And then I'll clean it up around here later as well, once I have a copy of the leg in resin as well. So right now it's very delicate. Let me put it down for a minute here, and I'll show you guys. So here we go. This I already prepped to mold. Okay, so what I'll do, I find this styrofoam, cardboard kind of material here. So I just use a little hot glue, and I'm hot gluing under his feet right there, under the foot. That way I can do a oval shape wall around this, and then I can just leave like a little, maybe ½ an inch gap around this leg. And that the oval shape, it's nice because when you after you cut the mold, you can just use the rubber band around it, and it will apply pressure evenly when you put the when you open the mold, extract the leg. You can use rubber band just to keep pressure evenly on the mold, and then you fill up with the liquid plastic, the resin, which would actually be through here. Yeah, so, and we can talk more about molds later. This is one thing that I do not enjoy at all. It's making these molds and casting. It's a pain, but if you want to have a final piece in resin, which is what I want, I feel like I have to go through this process. But here's one of the legs. It's ready to go. Once I cast a piece and all, I just cut right there, and then I sand it nicely, and you will never see that part on the final product. This is a little bit of this green thing that you see here is the sheet wax that you can purchase at a jeweler's store where they sell materials for people that fabricate jewelry. And if you see this line that I drew here, and there's a little arrow there, so once I dump the mold, the silicone, I won't remember exactly what the direction was. So I put a little arrow there, that way I know, okay, I have to cut the mold in this direction. And then it will have a seam line right there in the back of the leg, but it will be okay because it's so subtle, and I can just gently sand the resin later, and you'll be fine. So his two boots are actually ready for mold. Just have to go ahead and make the walls, and I can show you guys pictures of the walls that I'm going to build around it. And one quick thing, to get this smooth and this clear, all I did was I used very fine sandpaper, water sandpaper, and I sand it gently, sand it everywhere very gently. And then to finalize, I used a little solvent that you can just dip a little bit on your paper towel, and you gently, it is kind of rough, so it's like a little sand, and it will sand nicely, so you can just get this fine smooth finish. It's not as smooth as I would like, but I've been learning this all by myself, and trust me, it's hard for you to find people that will tell you exactly how to get to the finished product. I have found tons of videos out there where they will tell you that, oh, this is how you build the figure, this is how you build the armature, but very few videos out there will that I am aware of. I just want to point that out. There's probably videos out there, but I couldn't find it free online or anything like that. Maybe you can buy them, I don't know. But I couldn't find any video that will actually teach you how to get to the final sculpture, like all the fine details and everything else. They teach you how to rough the figure and all, but they stop right there. Anyways, but I'll try to show you guys how I get to these finishes. It's one of the things that I would like to show today, so you can see how it goes. This is not a company. I just want to let you guys know I do this on my spare time as a hobby because it's something that I'm really passionate about. I just like doing it. This method for if you want to create collectibles and sell them and work for a company, you definitely have an advantage, I would say, if you know how to work with wax and these heating tools and equipment. Let me show you guys real quick. It's like a dentist tool actually for people that do teeth, you know, but that's what some of the sculptors for these small figures use to sculpt. So if you want to do this for a living, there is a little bit of mixing nowadays that where you would see some 3D, and then sometimes they'll cast a copy of the 3D piece in wax, and then they will, because the wax gives you the ability to, you know, refine and add more details, and that's when the artist will come over and do more detailing on the wax. But if you want to do this for a living, I would say this is already past. Like 3D is the way to go today. So that's what I learned. So if you want to do this to make money, I don't know how much money you're gonna make. Maybe you're gonna make a lot. I tried a little and it's a little tricky anyways. But if you want to do it for a living, I think you have to add the 3D part of the new, you know, this new generation of technology. And 3D is a lot, it's crazy. You can do amazing things, and you can print amazing parts that are basically finished. They don't even have to go through the wax sometimes. Anyways, I just want to point it out that this is not what I do. What I do is it's just a fun thing to, you know, something to pass time, and I normally don't have next character will be this character, or I just do whatever I like, and mostly things that were meaningful to me when I was a child. And of course, I'm an 80s kid, so Thundercats was big when I was a kid. So was He-Man. So I've always wanted to have a He-Man sculpture where he's, you know, holding the sword up. So I may do that next. We'll see. I do like Mum-Ra, so I may make a Mum-Ra to go with him, or Chitara, because, you know, she's pretty and all. So I think it'll be nice to have her next to him. So we'll see what I'll do next. But right now, this is what I'm focusing on. And the only reason I'm making it is because I like it. I want to see, I want a sculpture of it. I haven't found anything out there that is what I'm looking for. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it myself. Later, of course, if somebody wants a copy, or if somebody's interested in the kit, I don't mind selling it. I don't do it for a profit. Just so you guys know, I want to put it out there. I don't own any rights of these characters or anything like that. This is basically a hobby thing. So I don't think I'm putting a dent on Warner Brothers, but maybe if they feel like it, they'll send me a letter and tell me stop. Anyways, I'm just pointing it out there that I don't have any licensing or anything like that. But if you would like a copy of it because you like the way I did it, I don't mind giving it to you, honestly. Because what I charge for it, it's not even, it will barely pay the resin. Anyways, here we go. Today, after all this blah blah blah, I just want to show you guys how I smooth this out today, and I'll show you which tools I use. So like I said, this is called Wax Pan. It's the waxer machine. If you're doing this as a hobby, it is expensive, I'll tell you right now. You can buy you know, torches like this, for example, that also helps smooth things out. Be careful, it's extremely hot, right? When you're working with heat, I want you guys to know with fire, I want you guys to know that I am extremely careful when I'm working with fire inside of my house, especially. I do have a fire extinguisher right there, and I can show you guys real quick. So there you go. If something goes wrong, I do have a fire extinguisher. Never had to use it. I have been always very careful. But you remember, when you're working with fire, there's foam, there's paper. There are things here that can catch on fire. Even if you leave this in a high temperature and you just forget it on top of the paper here, and if it's too hot, it may catch the paper on fire. So you want to be careful, okay? So when you're working with waxer, fire torches, you want to be careful, because I've seen pictures of people that burn themselves pretty badly. Another thing you want to be careful is the wax. Once you melt it, it's very high temperature, and if it falls on your skin, yes, it will burn you. So haven't burned myself. I've been doing this for years and years. I haven't burned myself. So, but I've seen people that have hurt themselves burning their skin with hot wax. So please be very careful if you're trying to do this. If you feel like, oh, I want to try, I think I can do it, go for it, but be very careful, please. This is a squeeze torch. So once you put the fire on it, like, let me get the lighter, show you folks. That was silly. There's a lighter right here. Anyway, so you basically go ahead, see, you add fire there. I don't know if you can see the flame or not. Maybe if I use the back of this. See, there's like a, and then once it starts, once the flame gets high, you can just squeeze it and you will make a little torch. See, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little bit of a, this is not the best brand. That's why it's not working really well, but you can see there's a little flame there when you squeeze it. So this guy here, I would say, is a little dangerous, honestly. They have a few marbles in there to keep it in the upstanding position, but if you bump it, you know, and you touch this, it could be a disaster. So that's why when I say be careful with fire tools, be careful. And remember, if you have kiddos, like I have kiddos here, I have my son sometimes around, and I ask him, like, please stay away, don't come near this right now, because, you know, they're just playing, they don't know. If they knock this over, and there is denatured alcohol right there, this is what I use. And the reason why you want to use the denatured alcohol, it's because it will not leave that black, you know, sud, I think, on your tools. So if you use clean denatured alcohol, and I can show you guys real quick too. If I have a bottle here, which I do. So this is what you want. It doesn't have to be this brand. It just has to be denatured alcohol. It will burn clean and you will not mess your tools. Let's see what else. So, and I can show you guys how it works. For example, in this piece right here. So it's a little rough there. You see, you squeeze it and it will kind of soften. Okay? Like I said, it is hot. One of the reasons why I use these gloves, you don't need these gloves to work with this, okay? You do not need it. I like to use the gloves because even though this is not sticky at all, you can see there's no wax. It does leave a little bit of a weird, little sticky thing to your natural, when you don't have gloves. And I don't like it, so I use gloves anyways. But I can show you guys, look, if you just squeeze it, it smooths it out, see? Oops, gotta put more alcohol in there. So if you wanna move it, look, I can just go ahead and quickly touch it, And one good thing about using the gloves, I feel like, is I have an extra layer so I can touch while it's still hot without burning my finger. You know what I mean? So this is one way that you can smooth things out. And then of course, this little torch right here, it's really helpful as well. And you go just quick, you know, just run it really quick on top. You can see that it melts the wax, kind of smooths things out real quick. It's not the final cleaning, but it helps clean it up some of the rough areas. Okay, so just a few tools that I use to clean things, clean the wax, always smooth it. Okay, so let's say I want to, now I'm gonna go ahead and work on this face real quick and show you guys how I clean the face. Okay, so I can go ahead and use this if I want to, kind of on the bigger areas. As you can see, it's smoothing things out real quick. I can do a little bit of the hair here and there. I just run it really quickly. Don't stay in one spot too long because it will melt pretty quick. So on the face here, I want to be very careful because it's small details, and if you hold it too long, then you melt the whole detail that you created. So when using torches, very quick, like quick passes. Don't stay in one area too long. Just do like quick passes just to smooth things out as much as you can with the torch. Okay, so this is how I do this. Okay, that's pretty much good out there right now. I don't want to keep going because I want to show you guys. Now I'm going to use this spatula here, and let me see if it's too hot. I'll know right away when I touch it. See, it's already it's melting too quickly, so I need to bring the temperature down on the spatula. And I'm gonna go down here real quick. Let's see, maybe I can do 150. I think 150 will be Fahrenheit I'm talking about on the dial here. So the machine shows 150, so we'll see, it'll go down. So what I do normally when I want to just, I like the shapes, right? Let's say I like the way it's coming along, but it's too dirty, it's too, you know, it's not really clean enough like these other areas. So I want to just get back to a little cleaner look so I can keep adding details. So what I'll do, I found a few pictures online of the character, so it's hard to make it look like that, but we'll see what we can come up with. Anyways, so he's got like big cheeks, narrow chin right here, a square chin, and you know, so I'm trying to put that in there, those shapes. See the eyebrows, they go down and up with the eyebrows, so that's what I'm trying to do. Like his nose here on top, you can see it's a little larger here and it thins out, so I'm trying to do that as well by thinning out here. So now the temperature came down on my spatula. See, I hope you guys can see this. I don't even know, but I hope you guys can see it. So what I'll do is basically I'll just scrape it like this. It will take forever, and you don't have to watch the whole video, or I can come back later once it's all done. But here you can see that I start just cleaning gently. Okay, so this is how I do it. I just lower the temperature of my spatula so it won't melt the wax too quickly, and then I start scraping like this gently. It will leave like weird bumps here and there, but that's okay. It's no big deal because you can come back later and get rid of those bumps very easily. So let's say we're gonna clean up this area right here that is a little rough, right? So what I'll do is I'll hold it down like this, let it melt gently. That's why I say it takes a while. See, it's melting, and then I just go ahead and scrape it, and I just keep scraping excess materials to clean it up. See, Right now I'm not focusing on any details. All I'm doing is just trying to clean it up, trying to bring it to a cleaner look. That way I can go ahead and start looking where I need to subtract or add more wax, where I can put more material, and so on. Okay, like if you tune in right now, I'm not really being able to see your questions or answer any questions at this moment, but once I stop the video and I go back, I will definitely answer questions if there is any questions, of course. Probably people already know this stuff, don't even know why I'm doing it, but I just thought it would be fun to show some of the people that enjoy my page and my work. So this is why I'm showing this. Okay, so here we go. See, it's already kind of cleaning a little, right? Not much, but you can see that it's starting to look better. When you're sculpting faces or likenesses, there is tons of different techniques. The way I'm doing this, you may know a easier way. And if you know an easier way to get to where I'm trying to get to, you're welcome to share with us, you know, and let us know how you do it, how you can accomplish cleaning or smoothing things out a little quicker. But for this stage, I like to do this. I like to go slowly and work here and there, you know, smooth things out. Like I said, this is more like therapy for me. So I'm not in a hurry. This is not for any customer or anything. So I can take my time and, you know, enjoy what I'm doing. But if you're in a hurry and you need to get to the final result a little bit faster, I get it. And you have a easier, faster method, you're welcome to share with us. It's pretty cool if you can share, actually. Okay, so here we go. Just hold it on top for 5 seconds here and it melts that little dot or, you know, drop of wax. And then I can just clean it up. And I keep going like this, you know, everywhere. I do have other tips. Let me show you guys real quick. So these are interchangeable tips that I don't have too many. They're expensive, by the way, but these are the ones that I have. And mostly, as you can see, this one's a little bit more dirty because that's the one that I use the most. Normally I can get a lot of nice shapes quickly and fast with this spatula. I like this spatula a lot. But these are awesome for fine details as well. So this one is pretty cool too. So because we're working on small, you just take it out like this. I can just save it now for later. Let's use this one real quick. And I can show you guys that it will take a second here to warm up. But then I can get into the little areas there, you know. And because this is, you can control the temperature so well with this tool, you know, you can just let it get enough hot to just smooth one little thing that you want to get rid of. A nice thing about this material, again, is that you can handle it and you won't lose detail. See, I can squeeze on the nose, I can push, and I don't lose detail. So I like that. Because sometimes if you're working with a softer material, and then you touch it here to hold it, and then like, oh crap, I smooshed. I just damaged what I just did. And then you have to be very careful working in the air, and I don't know how to do that. I like working right here, you know, holding the piece, scraping the extra material without the fear of ruining what I already did. See? So, like I said, this takes a while. It's not a fast process. But if you're patient and if you have the time, you can just go ahead and gently scrape and it starts cleaning. It starts getting rid of, to make it really smooth and soft. Later we're gonna use a solvent and I'll show you guys that part as well later, promise. So it's starting to clean up, right? See, there's extra material on my spatula, which is okay, right? Because I'm scraping. So I keep scraping here and there. And it will take a while. Sorry, I don't even know if I'm in a good angle or if the resolution is good enough, but so here we go. Hopefully you guys can see. So this is what I'll do right now, okay? I may come back later with the whole thing smoothed, or at least a little bit cleaner. Let me show you one more thing that you can do if you're in a hurry for big areas. Let me get it real quick. Just gonna clean my spatula here. Let it sit there for a moment. And then what you can do too, it's a really fun stuff, is you get this fire going, and you can use these 3M all-purpose super fine sponges. You want to use the super fine. I get the fine, which is this one. You can see a little bit of the difference there. I got the fine. It's the same thing, but instead of super fine, it was fine. And this is a big no-no. At least I will not be using this anymore. This did not work for me. But the super fine, yes, perfect. It works really well. So you want to get, you can find this at Guyry's or online or Home Depot maybe, or even at Adam Bean's store. I think he sells them as well in big boxes, like for a better price. I'm not sure. I just got it at Guyry's, my local art supply store. So this one, it's really good. And it will be awesome when you are trying to go ahead and smooth things out. Put that back there. So here it is. Okay, so I cut it in this. This is not my technique. This is all things I learned online, that you see people do it, and it's crazy because for them to tell you these little things, they're like, oh, I don't want to tell you anything. Anyways, so it's pretty easy. It's a nice trick that they probably don't want you to know if they're getting paid to do this shit. Oops, sorry, shouldn't say this kind of words. Anyways, if they're getting paid and then they don't want you to learn, because then you may take their jobs. So they won't teach you, but I will. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so what you do, you cut a little bit of piece like this, and then you gently go over the flame. Not for very long, of course. Again, you don't want to catch things on fire. And this will catch fire, trust me. So warm it up like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it's smoking, you're going too crazy. See how it's smoking right now? So just go quickly and then watch. And then you just run your finger over the part and it starts cleaning. Look at that. I don't know if you can see the little shoulder area. So I go there and see. Basically it's removing the top layer of the wax and smoothing what's under. And you just use your finger like this. And then let's use it on the face real quick. I'll show you guys. So you can just do it real quick there. See? Let's do his cheeks right here real quick. Oops, look at that. Pretty quick, right? And then you go on the face here. It's faster than what I was doing for sure, but you gotta be careful. Again, if you warm up too hot and you touch that nose for too long, it will melt all the detail that you created. So for large areas, like over here like this, it's no big deal. Okay? Like let's just say here, I don't care if it gets messed up, just so you guys can see. So there's a little bit of extra material there. So what I'll do, just warm up real quick, and then just see, it's already smoothing really nicely. See? Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see in the video, but it's smooth. You will get things very smooth pretty quickly. And this is an easy way to get to a smoother looking piece if you are in a hurry. If you don't want to just use your waxer the whole time. Okay? So you just warm up under the flame real quick. No more than 3 seconds. Please remember, this will catch on fire. And when it starts getting all lumpy and dirty, just cut it. Just go to the next clean part of your sponge, because it won't perform as well as you want to. But see, just a quick cleanup there. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a little bit of cleanup to do here, so let's do it right now. I need to clean this area, so I want to be careful here because this is almost finished. So I just run it real quick right there. Boom. See, it smoothed that out. Later I'm going to use a sandpaper like I did here, and this will be all nice and smooth. But to get to the cleaner part, you just use your sponge right here on the fire. Hope you guys can see it. I'm not sure because I don't know what you're looking at. Try to point the camera at my table so you can see what I'm doing. So look at this. It looks like melted, right? So just, and like, look, because I don't have an armature, I can handle the sculpture in multiple directions, and it's really nice. So I just run real quick down here to clean that neck. Get a cleaner looking neck in a few seconds when you have this. So you warm up on the fire and run quickly over the wax. So let's take a look. See, it's a little bit cleaner already. Not the final cleaning that you want, because you have to go back there with the, you know, small detailing tool, but it kind of saves you some time instead of, like, you know, going and going for so long with the little tool. But look, I'm running through his face real quick. Let's get his eyebrows real quick here because it's kind of dirty. See, already cleaned it. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell, but let's run through his nose real quick. Look how cool. It's already giving him a little cleaner look, right? Okay, you hold it and then you run it quickly. I have a little bit of experience with this thing, but if you don't have too much experience with the fire and sponge, I would recommend get comfortable on the larger areas first, okay? Then you try to go to the little areas, because like I said, you don't want to damage your details. So I'm just doing a quick pass. See, I'm not even letting it sit there for too long. Quick pass on the chin. Quick pass here on his jaw. Look at that. Quick pass. Look how nice. See, you can see it cleaned up pretty well already, right? This looks like the sharp tool mark. You got rid of it by using this quick technique, which most of the people that work with this type of material, that's what they do. They use this fire and the sponge to clean up their pieces, okay? So if I want to do under his nose real quick, warm up really gently, boom, boom. Quick passes. Good. So feels like it's already looking a little bit better. It's still ugly, of course. It's still a lot of cleanup to do, but as you can tell, it's a great technique. Warm up on fire and run through it real quick. Okay? 3-4 seconds on top of the flame here, and start cleaning. Cool? Let's do the chest here real quick so you guys can see how nice it cleans. I hope this is helpful. If you're starting, this is probably helpful. If you already know what you're doing and have better techniques, feel free to share with us and tell us what you think of what I'm doing. I'm okay. I don't mind if people are harsh, or I like when they're nice, but if they're harsh, no big deal. I'm good at taking harsh criticism. That's what I got at work every day anyways. Oh boy. Anyways, see, my sponge is starting to tear right there. This is a good example. So I'm gonna put this down real quick. It's starting to tear right there. So now that you don't have the sand layer, it will catch on fire pretty quickly. So all you want to do is get a pair of scissors. If you go on an angle, it's actually better because then you have a pointy, edge to go into like little little areas like this, and then you clean it up real quick. So don't go too further after, and when you see this and you put it over there, it will catch on fire very quickly. So be careful. You know, I know I've been very adamant about this. Careful when you're working with fire. And I'm serious. I've seen people get burned. Anyways, so I'm gonna keep cleaning with the heating and sand sponge and the spatula, and then I'll come back later and show you guys where I am. For the hair, so far all I do like hot temperature, and I'm just running, creating layers, but it will take a lot of work to get that hair to look nice. But this is where we are. I'll come back later to show you guys what the face is looking like after more cleanup. Cool. Shoot me any questions and we'll catch you guys later. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.